his job may be on the line.
I don't concern myself with outside type of things. But I'm committed to his development, just like all of our rookies. So we'll continue to focus on getting our guys better. And that's what we'll stay committed to, and that's what's important to me.
And so you didn't get this man a fighting chance to compete. He went into a gunfight with 2 knives. He gonna lose that every time.
You know you're going to waive Tyler Huntley. So what good did that 2-minute drive do for him? Was it going to help him? Don't you think Shedeur would have benefited more from a 2-minute drive than Tyler?
Now, Coach Stefanski is giving up. Additionally, it appears that the Browns and he are under increasing pressure to decide. Following the game, some players had their contracts canceled, and the offensive line that had been playing with Shedeur was waived off. Stefanski had to intervene to explain his choice about Shedeur's playing time due to the harsh criticism. He was specifically asked why he benched Shedeur before the pivotal 2-minute rush play, which many felt would have been ideal for the inexperienced quarterback. Stefanski seems clearly under strain, and it's becoming evident that Shedeur Sanders' plan has rapidly backfired. However, before we delve further into Stefanski's thoughts on the matter, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel.
And did you, I'm sure you kind of answered this last night, but why didn't you keep him in for the 2-minute, or why did you decide to take him out?
Yeah, nothing more than decided to give Stu.
Former Browns player T.J. Hushmanzade was unreserved in his condemnation of Stefanski's treatment of Shedeur Sanders. He stated unequivocally that in his time with the Browns, he has never witnessed a coach consciously oppose a player's success. Stefanski appears to have a personal grudge against Shedeur, though. TJ said the prejudice was clear and warned that if it is, the Browns management will face increasing pressure to dismiss Stefanski.
Fans gonna be saying, Shedeur our quarterback. Shedeur should be our starter. Shedeur should be the guy that starts game 1, week 1. Look what he did. They didn't want that to happen. And I don't know what's going on with Kevin Stefanski. It's almost as if, and I don't even want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
And it did for sure. It's all in Stefanski's body language. He appears to be in jeopardy of losing his employment. TJ went on to note that Shedeur Sanders has previously experienced this type of treatment. He emphasized how Shedeur played brilliantly in the opening preseason game, but Stefanski would not give him any credit. In light of yesterday's events, Stefanski now seems determined to paint Shedeur as the guilty party. He seems to be attempting to demonstrate that Shedeur was mistaken and the coaches were correct. TJ went so far as to say that it seemed as though they put Shedeur up for failure right away.
When he played well the first game, he was so off-putting, like, oh yeah, well, we'll see what happens next. Like, he played great, man. He exceeded our expectations. He didn't say none of that. And so to me, it's as if they want him to fail so they can justify doing what they want to do.
TJ's assessment is accurate as well. From the first preseason game, it was evident that Stefanski was biased. Stefanski refused to acknowledge Shedeur Sanders' outstanding performance, which left everyone speechless. Instead, he ignored Shedeur's exceptional play and made evasive remarks about wanting to develop all of his quarterbacks. It was quite evident that Stefanski had no real interest in Shedeur's success in Cleveland. Stefanski, who appeared committed to forcing Shedeur out of Cleveland, is now under pressure. Paradoxically, Stefanski is now in jeopardy himself. The coach who previously scolded Shedeur without cause and was too inflexible to handle the matter is now reversing course and said he will focus on Shedeur Sanders' development. Stefanski is obviously feeling the fire from the supporters based on this abrupt change. Fans aren't the only ones. Stefanski is under increasing pressure as a result of journalists and experts challenging his decisions. O added that Stefanski had essentially set Shedeur up for failure by starting him with offensive players who weren't even worthy of the roster. With guys of that caliber surrounding him, O makes a strong argument that even a quarterback with Tom Brady's skill level would have had difficulty in that circumstance. Shedeur's difficulties were almost inevitable.
What a COVID year, So it gave everybody an extra year if you wanted it.
Understandable. But listen, it's obviously.
What the chat say? The chat. Well, the chat believe he took a shot or no?
Let me look in the chat. I ain't open my phone. Hold on. I'm curious to see what the chat would think. They are saying.
Usino further cautioned that Shedeur Sanders will soon be written off as a failure and dismissed as a fifth-string quarterback by the Browns' paid critics. He emphasized, though, that the true problem, that Stefanski put Shedeur in a precarious position, would probably go unreported. O maintained that this is all part of an attempt to bring Shedeur down, despite the growing backlash. Some individuals would rather tear him to pieces than recognize the real causes of his difficulties. O was right when he said that Shedeur was set up to fail, but he was mistaken when he said that Stefanski and the Browns would get away with it. That is untrue, since supporters are urging the Browns to fire Stefanski for his blatant bigotry against Shedeur Sanders. The Browns appeared to be unable to ignore the growing pressure for much longer. The Browns' treatment of Shedeur Sanders was also criticized by Skip Bayless, who called their strategy the worst way to handle a player. He emphasized that Stefanski and the company have continuously mistreated Shedeur and pointed out a troubling trend. Skip claims that this is more than a one-time error. Shedeur has not received the opportunities or assistance he requires to be successful. It has become even harder for him to succeed because of the way the team has handled him, which has just raised the pressure.
I'm outraged, I'm sickened, and I'm saddened by the way Shedeur continues to be treated in the National Football League, now by those sorry-ass Browns and sorry-ass Kevin Stefanski.
It's becoming more and more obvious that Shedeur Sanders was doomed to fail from the start when you consider how everything has turned out with him. When Shedeur started his first preseason game, Stephen A. Smith made a daring assertion that is now turning out to be even more true. He said that the Browns were preparing Shedeur Sanders for failure, and given the course of events, it's difficult to dispute that. It's beginning to appear that the entire scenario was set up to cause Shedeur to suffer, from the dearth of significant team reps to the dubious play calling. G. Bush also expressed his opinions, arguing that the Browns never really prioritized Shedeur Sanders. He emphasized how Shedeur went above and beyond by remaining after practice, showing up early, and working more to establish his worth. However, Stefanski obviously didn't want him to succeed in spite of his efforts. Fans are now publicly expressing their displeasure with Stefanski's handling of the matter and demanding his resignation.
When they're at practice, Shedeur Sanders is not their priority. When he is at practice, he was staying hours beforehand, leaving hours later.
Significant controversy and criticism have been generated by the Browns' treatment of Shedeur Sanders under Coach Stefanski. The young quarterback's seemingly bright future has swiftly devolved into a pattern of poor management, with prominent players such as T.J. Hushman, Zadie, Skip Biz, and G. Bush, all calling attention to the team's shortcomings in how they handled Shedeur. The Browns never really prepared Shedeur for success, as evidenced by the dubious decisions made on game day and the absence of significant support. Rather than acknowledging the external circumstances at play, his problems have been presented as his own responsibility. Stefanski is undoubtedly under increasing pressure as both supporters and commentators demand responsibility. A series of poor choices has masked Shedeur's potential, but the emphasis now is on the larger problem, the coaching staff's vision and leadership. Will the Browns own up to their error and change their strategy as the demands for Stefanski's departure become louder? Or will Shedeur Sanders fall prey to yet another flawed system? One thing is certain, but only time will tell. Change might be unavoidable because of the demand. Regarding the conflicts surrounding Coach Stefanski and his handling of Shedeur Sanders, what are your thoughts? Do you think Stefanski lacked sound judgment in his decisions, or is there another factor at work here? How do you feel about the demands for accountability that fans and commentators are putting on him right now? Do you believe there were additional forces at play, or is it reasonable to claim Shedeur was set up to fail? Above all, do you think Stefanski should resign, or do you think he has a chance to make things better? Your opinions on this matter would be greatly appreciated. Tell us in the comment section below.